It's Saturday at 6. It's time for your weekly music and entertainment fix.
Backstage with Sinéad Mhórdha.
With all the best music, interviews, and live sessions. Live from the Radio Nova studios in the Dublin Docklands.
Hello and welcome along to the show. It is Sinead with you here until 7 o'clock. Thanks so much for tuning in and joining me backstage. What a show I have lined up for you today. I'm going to be joined by a man who played a pivotal role in punk rock and in bringing some of the greatest American acts of the 20th century to the fore. He is Danny Fields. He discovered and managed the Ramones. He signed and managed Iggy and the Stooges and worked with the Velvet Underground and also carried out publicity for the Doors. I'll be chatting to Elliot Williams, Synth Man with Editors. They're headlining Independence at the end of the month. You'll be hearing about life on the road for the band and how working in a remote area of Scotland impacted on the sound of their latest record, In Dreams. I'll have music for you from Longitude Bound, Kurt Vile. And as this week marks the 31st anniversary of Live Aid, I'll be playing you a song from David Bowie's performance from that day.
Backstage on Radio Nova.
Danny Fields is an American music manager, publicist, journalist and author. He has just recently brought out his book entitled My Ramones, Danny Fields. It's available now through First Third Books. There has been a documentary movie been made about this man entitled Danny Says, which is coming out in August, and that's of course after the Ramones song. As a music industry executive in the 60s, 70s and 80s, he was one of the most influential figures in the history of punk rock. He discovered and managed the Ramones. He signed and managed Iggy and the Stooges. He signed MC5. He worked in a publicity role for the Doors. He's been involved with the Velvet Underground and Modern Lovers. He got to see the Velvet Underground rehearse every day in Andy Warhol's factory. And he is joining me next on Backstage to talk about all the above, as much as we can get in anyway. So I'm going to kick things off with music from the Ramones. This is I Want to Be Sedated on Radio Nova. Music from the Ramones on Radio Nova. I Want to Be Sedated. You are backstage with me, Sinead Mhórdha, and the man who discovered and managed the band, the Ramones. In 2014, the New York Times said he could make a convincing case that without Danny Fields, punk rock would not have happened. And joining me now backstage is Danny Fields. Well, Danny, thanks so much for joining me today.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me here.
Not at all. So how's your trip to Dublin been so far?
It's been packed with wonderful people and a beautiful city, and I had not known what to expect, but it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
That's really cool to
this.
hear.
Wow.
Well, it looks like you might be coming back because it seems like
I would love to come back.
You're a bit taken.
Best welcome I ever had.
Really?
Yeah.
So glad to hear it. There's such a love for music and culture and just conversation and stuff like that. So
I've known that.
Yeah, sure,
but I've not experienced it until now. So it's beautiful, wonderful.
Oh.
A+++.
A+++. Well, you're so welcome here. Tell me about the time that you first discovered the Ramones and what it was that grabbed you about them. Obviously, there weren't a lot of bands who were making those short, sharp songs and playing to 160 beats per minute. But when you saw them, what was that feeling that it evoked?
Feeling was great because they had wanted me to see them. I was writing a weekly column about what's happening, news and gossip, and opinion, and I would recommend to the readers. It was limited downtown, very elite circulation called the Soho Weekly News, and I was writing about television, which I loved to this day. A very great band, and Patti Smith, who started singing then. And they were playing at CBGB's, and the Ramones wanted to be, why don't you worry about us? And this is a campaign of finally, okay, just to stop them from calling me, leave me alone. Yeah, who are you? Just leave me alone. And the name sounded weird. Now, it turns out they named themselves after Paul McCartney. Used the name Paul Ramone when he would check into a hotel instead of Paul McCartney, so as not to be recognizable, or he'd put on a red wig and check in as Paul Ramone. So that's where they got that word from. But I thought it was a cha-cha band or something. It sounds kind of Latin music. What are you guys doing? No, we know you really like us. So I went to see them, and I loved them. I was overwhelmed from the start of it. It was perfect. I think they played 17 minutes and 14 songs, something like that.
Oh, God.
And I just fell in love. This is a perfect band. Wow. They look perfect. The songs are perfect. They're so short, thank God. And the words are hilarious. I don't want to go down to the basement that was the first lyric. It's a song. I don't want to go down to the basement. That's so cool. What a great title for a song, and just strange singer is doing it. It's just, they were wonderful. So I said, I think I'm going to be a manager again. Can I manage you? Yeah. And that's where it started.
Man, what a band. What a band to have changed rock history forever, that sparked off punk rock in the US and the UK. Bloody hell. What made them that good?
Well, what made them that good was that they were a disciplined machine and knew what they had to do, and they had great songs. They had great, catchy songs. We thought they would have hits. They thought they would have hits. They had no hits. They couldn't get played on the radio because the songs were thought to be too short, and B, they were the Sex Pistols in England, inventing what was being known as punk rock, and they were making a lot of trouble, and they were sort of throwing up wherever they went, or causing mayhem.
Mm-hmm.
And the Ramones were tarred with that possibility that if we play you on the radio and you get a hit, you come here, you're going to vomit on our console or something. So you know what? We just won't play the song. And the same thing with club owners and promoters. We couldn't get work anywhere. We had to force bowling alleys and office building basements after hours because nobody wanted them, because this is unknown quality, and this is something, I don't know. In England, there's this band, and they're in trouble. They're making trouble, and we don't want trouble. We want music. And and starting with, of course, everyone here knows the Grundy show in London, where they went on the air and cursed, and then moved from the music entertainment section of the press to the front pages because they said dirty words on the radio. I mean, this is 40 years ago. The Sex Pistols said dirty words. So then they were really troublemakers. And no one listens to the music. They think, well, if somebody is doing something politically outrageous or actively non-musical, but a problem, they don't want you. It's easier not to play them and not to book them. And they never did sell any records. You know, the first album that made history when it came out in April of 76, and the British bands heard it, and they said just what you said. Oh, God, this is so fast. What a good idea to be fast. Like, duh. This is rock and roll. Unless you could do Stairway to Heaven, be fast. Then no one will know that you're not in tune, and it will be exciting because that's what kids want. Everybody wants fast and loud. There was no secret to it. And don't tune up between songs. And I say this everywhere I go, and I say that to whenever I meet a new band. I have one piece of advice for you. I haven't even heard you play yet, but this is it. Do not tune up between songs. The show falls like a balloon out of the sky that's been hit with a BB gun. The air will go out of what you have started to do.
Really? Just keep the momentum going?
Just keep it going, And then Joe Strummer said, of The Clash, was so wonderful, said, wow, you couldn't slide a cigarette paper between any two of those songs. They saw them July 5th, 1976, 40 years ago last week. And they were so impressed. This is, what a way to do it. Yes, no one knows if you're in tune. Oh, and they stand there and they kind of look at each other like, what do we do next? And they go, plong, and the other one goes, plong. Do you think the audience is like that? Do you think this is show business? Do you think this is entertainment? What are you doing? Trying to prove you're serious musicians? Get over it. We don't want serious musicians. We want a show.
Rock and roll and
we
fun.
Want to be knocked back, knocked up. That's it. We want a barrage, okay? We want an onslaught. And that's what they did.
You are backstage with Danny Fields, who discovered and managed the Ramones, as well as signing MC5 and these guys. This is Iggy and the Stooges with 1969 on Radio Nova.
Okay. Walk across the USA. It's another year for me and you. Another year with nothing to do. It's another year for me and you. Another year with nothing to do. I didn't have a lot of fun, and now I'm gonna be 22. I say oh my and a boo-hoo. Yeah, now I'm gonna be 22. Oh my and a boo-hoo. Well, it's 1969, okay. USA. It's another year for me and you. Another year with nothing to do. And it's 1969. And it's 1969. And it's 1969, baby. It's 1969, baby.
What a song. 1969 from the Stooges on Radio Nova. And you are backstage with Danny Fields, the man who's responsible for signing the Stooges. Now, Danny, there's so many bases I'd love to cover, and I just want to keep you here all day and all night to talk about everything from Andy Warhol and the Factory to Velvet Underground. But I'd like to ask you about working as a publicist with The Doors. And yourself and Jim didn't have the best of relationships?
No, we hated each other.
Oh,
and,
God.
It was my fault. I took liberties with what I thought there were aspects of his image or persona that I could handle. The one thing we did, the very first wonderful picture of him that was a breathtaking, it's no shirt and a little necklace of beads and that hair, and he never looked that good again. He came to hate that picture because as he got old and fat and beardy and bloated, that picture would be there too. It was like the picture of Dorian Gray, the opposite. Yeah. That picture was there, and he was, but we put it in the right place at the right time, and the headline was Next Teen Idol. Then they had Light My Fire, which was one of the great number one hits of the decade. We kind of had a falling out when I kidnapped him, and then he would beg the record company president to fire me. And the record company president, because I can't fire someone just because he kidnapped you. So
Danny,
I don't want to go into the details of that. That's all somewhere else.
Though? I mean,
yeah.
What did he do?
I didn't really kidnap him. He was so drunk and stoned and had eaten so much chemical stuff and drunk so much liquid stuff. And we were in the hills of Hollywood, and he was getting ready to leave, and I thought, he's going to get in that car and drive off a cliff, and I'm going to get fired. So I took the keys out of the ignition of his little red car that he virtually lived in. It was like his house. Everything he owned was in the trunk, and I just put them under I didn't kidnap him. I just put his keys under that rubber thing that's on the floor between you and the pedals.
Yep.
Yeah, so he didn't know how to start his car and get back to wherever he wanted to go. So he became a prisoner of a house called the Castle in the Hollywood Hills. He just couldn't walk away from there. There was nowhere to go except downhill forever. There were no phones. There were no cell phones then in existence, because this is so in another, Paleolithic era. And he considered himself to have been kidnapped, and this kind of person does not like to be kidnapped. He wants to be powerful, and who does?
You saved his life.
I didn't say, you know what? I don't know. I thought I was. This is, I didn't know.
But you were doing your job.
I don't know. Was that my job to take his car keys away? I submit this question to people. What would you do?
The man was annihilated. Of course, he was annihilated. You didn't want to see anyone get behind.
He was the big money maker. His career paid my salary. So, he's too drunk to drive. Aren't you supposed to do that? Supposed to find the designated driver. There was no designated driver, and then Nico was there because this was their first night of making love, and he was threatening her, and then he walked naked around the roof of the building.
Oh my.
It was like a castle, in a chess game with a little crenellation. I think it goes up and down and up and down. And I thought, no, I can't. I'm hiding his car keys. That was it. That's what it was like working for him, okay?
So that's what it was like all the time, was it?
No, I stopped. He didn't want me working for him after the kidnapping event. And I said, good. And just about then I had seen the MC5 and Iggy and the Stooges, and we were getting ready to do Nico's solo album with John Cale, Marble Index, which I'm proud of. So proud of that.
And thank God for Danny Fields. I mean, for the person that you are and the amicable person that you are, you have done so much for music. I know you say that you got more than you deserve, but I think you deserve it all and more.
I thank you for thinking that and for saying that. And this is not false modesty. Those were all geniuses. You mentioned you go didn't need me to be geniuses. Maybe just to say, here's someone you might want to, they might give you a recording contract, or they might hire you to play somewhere or something, or here's this picture, or but they're the ones. The artists are the ones. They're the gods and goddesses and miracles.
Yeah.
They're the miracles. I'm a facilitator.
Yeah.
I'm no miracle. They're the miracles.
You played that integral role in bringing those people together and
I'd
bringing
like
them to
to
the
think
fore.
so. Yeah, it's sort of like an agent. It's not really cosmic, is it? It's not really magical. This agent is the most hateful people in the world are agents. It's like lawyers and accountants. They're all agents. And that's all I ever was.
You worked your magic, Danny.
But I had a good sense of humor about it.
Yeah.
You know.
Sense of humour and magic. No, Danny Fields, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you. And thank you, Dublin, for being a beautiful, wonderful, vital, vibrant, wonderful, fabulous city where all the great people who meant everything to me, like James Joyce and Yeats and Oscar, and wow, it's just the center of human achievement is here.
Wow.
And God, yes. Thank
It's a great place. You're very welcome. Come stay. Come hang out. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Backstage on Radio Nova.
Joining me a little bit later on this evening's show will be Elliot Williams of Editors. Connor Irwin is on the way up next with the latest in music news, which this week is regarding Portishead's Jeff Barrow, Mick Jagger, and these guys. Before we hear the very exciting news from Josh and Co, I'm going to play this one. One of my favourites from the Like Clockwork album, if not up there, one of my most favourite tunes from Queens of the Stone Age. This is If I Had a Tale on Radio Nova.
Obsolete.
Backstage on Radio Nova.